Hello, welcome back to the woods. Now over in my playlist section, if you look over there, there's what one of my viewers calls the SSPs, the Simple Stick Projects. Well, I'm thinking about coming up with another playlist, and this one's going to be called the SGPs, the Simple Gear Projects. And in there I'm going to put all sorts of different projects. There's going to be my simple mesh stove, there's going to be my candle holder that I put up in there, and other very simple projects. And this video is also going to include one, because this video we're going to look at how you can make one of these. Now this project all came about because of the popularity of these, the 1 litre stainless steel bottles. This one is the Bushcraft store one, but there are other ones out there. There is the Pathfinder one by Self-Reliance Outfitters, and there are various other ones. And they come with a cup, or you can fit a cup to them, and so you've got a very good self-contained little system. I absolutely love mine. This, with the cup that comes with it, is absolutely brilliant. In fact, quite often I think when I go out I don't actually need much more than what I've got in my pockets. This with the metal cup on the bottom and the lid, and that's about it. But then the problem becomes, how do I carry it? And that's where the idea for this project came about. And this is the project. It's a very simple cover made from heavy duty nylon with a mesh base that drains and a carry strap so that you can wear it slung across your shoulder and carry it with you out into the woods. You can use it as a standalone, or you can use it with a day sack so that you can access your water bottle without having to take your rucksack off. Inside I've included a mesh pocket. That's there for another project that's coming up later, so I'll tell you a little bit more about that when that happens. Now, as far as equipment for actually making this, all you're going to need is your sewing machine, a pair of scissors, some pins, a tape measure, and that's about it. Materials, well, the materials list is coming up now. Now, I've used 1000 denier called Dura nylon, but you could use any heavy duty material. It could be just straightforward nylon or a polyester, it could be canvas, it could even be leather. Your first job is to cut out your materials, and here's a list of the dimensions you need to cut those up. With the materials all cut up, your first job is to take your piece of mesh, the long thin strip, and you're going to fold in the ends, sew those into place, and then thread in a length of paracord, fold the edge over, and then all you're going to do is sew that along so that you've created a tube. With that done, you're then going to take that piece and you're going to take your piece of cordura and you're going to place your tube of mesh that you've just made onto the fabric, and it goes onto the face side, and you're going to place it so that the tube edge is facing downwards on the fabric. Pin that in place, sew it along. With that done, fold it back up so that the top of the cordura rolls over and the mesh sticks up over the top with the little tube with the paracord in running along the top. Sew that in place. Then you're going to take your larger piece of mesh and you're going to sew a hem all the way around, and all we do with that is just fold it over about 1 centimetre, sew along that line, and you do it all the way round. Next, you're going to take your ladder lock buckle and your middle-sized piece of 25mm polypro webbing, and you're just going to sew that buckle onto the end of it. With that done, what you then do is take your piece of cordura with the mesh along the top, fold it in two and create a little crease. Open it back out again and then put your short piece of nylon with a ladder lock buckle onto one edge, about 2 centimetres in from the edge, and then your long piece of polypro webbing put against that seam, and then sew those two in place. With that done, turn the whole thing over, take your piece of mesh, place it on there, and you're going to pin it in place on 3 sides, so down each side and along the bottom, leaving the open edge facing uppermost towards the little strip of mesh at the top of your project. and then turn the whole thing inside out, so fold it the other way, put the two outside edges together, pin those in place, and then sew it down the side. You want to sew it a couple of times down the sides. And that just gives it that little extra bit of strength. With that done, take your circular piece of mesh, open up your tube of cordura, and in the base end you're going to place that circular piece, and you just pin it all the way around the edge, bending the top edge back, running a pin into it, and with that done, sew that into place. Then, and you're nearly there now, you're just going to turn the whole thing inside out. So then all we do, and you're nearly there, you're going to turn it inside out. So now you can see the pouches actually form. You've got the base, you've got the draw cord at the top, and you've got your long strap and your short strap. You're then going to take your shortest piece of webbing, fold that in two and sew down one edge. And then you take that piece and you insert it over the end of your long piece of webbing. You slide it all the way down. Next, thread your long strap through the ladder lock buckle and through that little slider. With that done, fold the free end of that long piece of webbing up just by about 2 or 3 centimeters and sew a little line of fabric. And all that does is that prevents that strap pulling back through the buckle at any time. And that's it. That is your project pretty much finished. And you end up with this, a really cracking, useful bit of kit. It's big enough to stow my cup, my lid, and my water bottle, and a spoon, and this other item, which is another project that's coming up very, very soon. The whole project is a very, very simple one, and it takes less than an hour to do, and you'll get years and years of use out of this bit of kit. So there you go, that's the item all finished. As I said, it takes less than an hour to put this together. A very simple little project that uses up scraps of material and that's probably going to last you for years and years. This time of year, winter time, it's always the time for projects. I tend to make an awful lot of my gear at this time of year because the longer nights, I could spend that time sat in front of a sewing machine or out in my shed putting stuff together. And these little projects are absolutely ideal, quick to do, and you get a good return for very, very little effort. And I'll try to make sure I've got a few of these lined up ready for you guys so that you can make stuff up, particularly during lockdown. You might have a bit of time on your hands. If you enjoyed this video, then remember, as always, hit that thumbs up button, and if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. Remember to hit that notifications bell because there are, as I said, some very good videos coming up. As always, you can follow me over on Instagram and Facebook, and the links are all down below. Pop down there, have a look at those. While you're there, there is also a link to my Etsy shop, which is being restocked as we speak. The leather badges, the cloth badges, the mugs, and there are some other items coming up too, ready for Christmas. There's also a link over there to my Patreon page, so pop over there, have a look, and it really does help out if you can afford to subscribe. I've been Neil, and until next time, stay safe.